Hello and welcome to Midnight Podcast. We are interviewing Calvin and Alix with Robotloveskitty, and they made Legend of Dungeon. Say hello.
Ahoy!
So tell us about Legend of Dungeon.
It's a video game we made.
Good job, Calvin.
Thanks.
Interview done.
It's over. All the information you need.
So it's kind of a combination of a beat 'em up and a roguelike. The story that we continue to tell seems to be that Alix played a lot of Rogue when she was younger. Well, still plays a lot of Rogue. The ASCII original Rogue.
Yeah, I grew up playing a lot of Rogue, and Calvin grew up playing a lot of arcade games.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and X-Men.
Uh-huh.
And so we smushed those together to make Legend of Dungeon.
Because our taste in games is fairly different, and so we have to make our own so we can play them together.
Right.
So, the game gets pretty goofy at some points. Like,
What?
somebody was telling me... somebody was telling me about this one item, a kitty spawning magic book of vengeful ghosts.
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. It's crazy. It's
Well, I saw you retweeted the tweet about it.
No, it's a very serious game. It's a very serious game. It's just like, very realistic dungeon crawling. That's what we were going for.
Yeah, that's quite obvious.
Yeah, we have trouble taking ourselves seriously.
There might be a cat summoning book, and killing cats might have
May or may not have repercussions.
serious, life-threatening repercussions.
Well, what are the repercussions?
Well, just like in real life, you have, things to happen.
When you do things that are bad.
Yeah, repercussions.
So if you kill a cat in real life...
Bad things happen to you.
We can
Because you're
Are
only.
they the
bad
same things?
person.
I haven't
Like-
actually done any cat killing, and I
We're
hope
just-
that
this
most
is-
people haven't. But I
This is what we
assume.
imagine
I
happens.
assume this is what happens. So we
So
try
this
to be.
interview is gonna get dark, like just for 1 second. My girlfriend, she used to live out in like the really deep country area, like where they're like true rednecks and everything. And she was telling me that she actually knew people that would, like I said, this is gonna get really dark. It's kind of weird, but she actually knew people that would put kittens in bags, tie them to the back of their car, and light them on fire.
Why would you do that?
See,
I don't know. That's
These
just
people
crazy.
deserve to be devoured by wraiths.
yeah,
Yeah.
just what happens
much.
in our video game.
Yeah, this is
That's what happens.
pretty
Is
much.
the person gets tied up and put in a bag and set on fire?
That would be nice.
That happens in the sequel. In
Maybe
this
the sequel.
one,
Oh, okay.
In this one, devoured by ultra wraiths.
So, when I was looking up your game and everything, Legend of Dungeon, I heard a really interesting story about you guys, about the development of the game. Do you want to bring that up?
Okay, what is it?
What is the story?
About
Calvin.
the treehouse and all that.
Oh, that
Giving
thing.
him a hard time.
No, I'm
But
not.
is there
I'm
more than one
confused.
cool thing in this development that I
We-
don't know about?
We do
there more
so
cool
much
things?
cool stuff.
Yeah, Calvin. Yeah, we're so cool. No. Yeah, the treehouse is a lot of interesting stuff happened there. We made another game there first,
Yeah.
and
In the treehouse?
Yeah.
We built a treehouse in the woods on our friend's property. Our friend built giant robots in the woods.
if he
And,
can build giant robots, we figured we could at least live there.
Yeah.
Did he actually build giant robots?
Yeah, he built
a
giant
giant
a
robot.
single giant robot in the forest.
How did that work?
It's
Pretty
pretty
awesome.
amazingly giant six-legged robot. Most people. He has a YouTube channel. Lots of people know who he is.
Yeah, if you
He's
search
more
giant
popular.
robot project, you'll find him.
He's more popular than we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so the treehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we built it. We didn't really know what we were doing. We kind of learned a lot about how water works while we were doing that. That was
How
exciting.
it gets into houses.
How water's a
Tree
jerk.
houses.
Water is a jerk. But we
Made a mostly dry tree house.
made a mostly dry treehouse. We made our own solar panels.
We used it to charge our laptops.
And Calvin carried the batteries that we charged the solar panels from.
Yeah, I leveled up. I became a battle mage. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
because these batteries weigh like 60 pounds a piece, or 70 or something, and you had to carry them a half an hour hike uphill to get to our place. So
That sounds terrible.
It was awesome.
it was both terrible and amazing at the same time.
No, I leveled up. Like that's how you do it. You do stuff, and then you level.
So you became a battle mage,
That's what
or
I
you
did.
became like
Just,
a...
like code.
Prior to that, you were just a mage,
Right,
like
just-
a programmer.
Just write code, just mage stuff, and then I leveled up and became battle mage, which is
Okay.
twice as cool.
Twice as cool.
Highly recommend it for all coders. They should level up and become battle mages.
So did you actually did you really like build up for that physically from that?
From that, yeah, like
it's probably the healthiest you've been in quite a few years was while you were like having to carry, because it's if you want it up in the treehouse, you have to take it there.
you have to carry it.
No matter what. Like if you want it, you have to carry it. So if we want food up there, we have to carry the food up. If we want to take our cats up there, that was not fun.
No.
I can't
Cat
imagine that.
carriers.
How did you actually get them up into the treehouse? Did you have a lift?
No, it's only 8 feet off the ground.
Yeah,
It wasn't
we
too
used
bad.
the.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't too bad.
I think the picture that I saw, it looked like you guys were like 30 feet up in the air.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
We're
It
not.
was 30 feet,
And we had to fight bears.
right every time.
No.
In the air.
And-
On top of the
Flying
trees.
bears.
Flying bears, of course. Vermont flying bears, very common. The size of the woodpeckers.
I'm never going to Vermont. Anyway,
So our next
more of
video
the story
game,
or whatever.
there's flying bears, and they're attacking you in your treehouse. That's what our...
And that's the whole entire development of Legend of Dungeon. In fact, the bears may have even got some code in there themselves.
That's possible. That is very possible.
While we were sleeping.
Yeah.
I hear that you guys had, despite the solar panels and everything, that you did sort of have some sort of trouble doing stuff at night.
Oh yeah. The solar panels, they weren't like, we didn't have enough of them. We didn't have any money. I mean,
And then we were in a forest, so there's a lot of trees covering up the sun.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It was okay. We got work done, but it wasn't like being plugged in all the time.
It's also like Vermont, so it's not sunny all the time.
Yeah.
And there was a law school nearby that we could go to and like stay in their like public study room and
Plug in
and have some internet and electricity. But it's like a half-hour walk there and back, and it's not so good for laptops to be bounced around all the time. And so it wasn't ideal, but we made do with it pretty well. I think we confused a few of the law students and the staff there, but whatever.
So the pun is sort of intended here, but it's often a question that I do ask in interviews. Was there a period where Legend of Dungeon didn't seem like it would see the light of day?
No.
No, actually.
So we
Legend
had-
of Dungeon was amazing.
We had we've made plenty. We've done video games for like 7 years now.
Yeah, well,
Right?
our first project was the first 5 years of that because it was massive.
But we've had enough mistakes, and so we've kind of learned how to set scope for our project.
Yeah, one of the big things that we were trying to do with Legend of Dungeon was not bite off more than we could chew or do something that
Only
we
a little more than
have
we
trouble.
could chew.
Well, we ended up getting a Kickstarter that kind of bit off more than we could chew anyhow.
Anyway, but the idea, it was an exercise in doing what we could do, and not trying to do some things that we didn't know how to do.
Yeah.
So at every single point, it was like, yeah, this isn't going to be a problem, and that's what we did.
And it's like, as far as like the game not seeing the light of day, that could not have happened. Like eventually, it was going to get made, but
Yeah.
it got to be way more awesome because of like the Kickstarter and things like that. And the response that it got, we were able to make it like sparkle.
Yeah,
instead
it was
of-
a pretty fun game. Like when we started the Kickstarter, it was already
It's like a super-
something playable,
Yeah.
and then the next year was just making it awesome.
All right. So I know you said that you may have bit off a little more than you could chew, and I don't know how serious you were when you were saying that, but was there something that was really challenging about it?
It was like there were a lot of tiny little things that all really added up. Originally, when we first launched the Kickstarter, we asked for $5,000 because our laptop was falling apart and we wanted the Unity Pro because the game is done in Unity. And we thought that the game would be done in like a month or two. It was just going to be like a 2-month-long project.
A quick game.
A quick game.
Yeah.
You know, we'd get like, a few hundred backers and they'd be happy and we'd have made a game and a few people would like it. And instead, we got overfunded by like 650%. We reached multiple stretch goals, and a whole bunch of people backed us for custom items and like
Things that were
all
like,
kinds of
nobody's
extra
gonna
stuff.
do that.
We thought like we'd get like 5, and we got just a bunch, and it's amazing. I'm certainly not complaining,
Right.
but it definitely extended
Development time. A
the
little
development time and like what we thought we were going to have to do with the game. It also, having the game be that successful, inspired us to put as much as we could into the game. Like, we really poured our hearts into it once we realized people were really responding.
As much as was reasonable.
Well, I mean, like, we could probably spend another 5 years perfecting the game if we really wanted to, but
No, you can,
have to call
you can
it done at some
always
point.
not finish projects.
So you were mentioning the people that made their own items. Were a lot of them goofy or?
Yes. In fact, the majority of the craziest items were Kickstarter backer requests.
I think they
Was
kind
the
of...
kitten one of them?
The kitten one is one of them, yeah. The laser cat's mine, though. I insisted the laser cat be there. The kitten was one of the first things that happened, actually. And the fish hat, too.
The fish hat.
But
I think I've got the fish hat.
it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
They kind of helped us realize that the humor of the game was something that we could really embrace. Like, we had little things like the fact that you could change your gender in the bathrooms at the front of at the start of the level and that kind of stuff, but but the silly items, we hadn't really done too much with it yet. We also hadn't put many items in yet, so
That's
I'm not sure.
Answered my next question too, because I was going to ask how that did affect the humor of the game and everything.
Yeah, it definitely helped us embrace our quirkiness, because we are very, very...
Probably would have turned out ridiculous anyway, but...
Yeah, I don't imagine that Laser Cats would have not made it in.
Yeah.
It would get in there somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it really kind of like fleshed it out and made it just really... It was fun to put all the cool things they wanted in.
Yeah, I loved that about the Kickstarter, working with them and putting the ideas in from other people. It really, like, the community that we built around the game, it really felt awesome when we were working with it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I say that like as if I'm like, okay, I sort of believe you. But no, I understand. Community is a big thing. But anyway, what were some more influences besides like Rogue and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Was there anything like more modern, I guess?
Actually, there's one other game that kind of influenced a few other little like outlying pieces of the game, was Jamestown.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Jamestown. Have you played Jamestown?
I think I have. That's the one like.
You're on a ship thing and you're shooting it.
Yeah,
guys on Mars.
Bullet hell
So
kind.
yeah,
I'm
but
so bad at that game.
Totally looks nothing like it. But the idea of the sprite, the pixel art, and then the like orchestral music.
The awesome music in the background.
Right, and it just seemed, I liked the way that mixed so much that we got our friend Dave to make some awesome music for us.
And then, of course, we took that a few extra steps further with all of the randomization for the music and stuff.
And then the controller setup, I snatched that idea from them
we
as
really
best I
liked
could.
how easy it was to just map any controller you wanted to Jamestown.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I'm sure they're not the first one to do it, but they're the ones that really inspired us to...
Yeah. And then the game itself was really took off because of Sebastian's art, the original art for the game.
And your dynamic lighting.
Well, yeah, but the
two worked really well together.
Yeah, but like I saw this guy's pixel art on the pixel art subreddit, and it was just totally cool, and I immediately wanted to put it into a video game. So
it partially inspired the game too. That's true.
We contacted him right away.
Yeah, we were like,
so did he do all the art?
No.
He did the original character design.
He did a 26 character sprite sheet. He didn't do any of the animation or anything like that, and we used probably half of them and then created another chunk.
Like a bunch.
And we modified a lot of them too.
We used his basic design.
His
concepts.
Style was beautiful and simplistic, and we loved it.
And he's a cool guy.
And he's a cool guy. But
any guy that does pixel art's cool.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. I know at least one douche that does pixel art.
One douche.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not very good at pixel art, but I like to think of myself as a good person. Because I'm just the best.
Good for you.
Except when it comes to pixel art.
It was interesting. It was my first time really doing pixel art, and it was kind of because Calvin is the one that does the programming, so it was kind of my general area was do the pixel art and the animations for everything. He did.
What did you use for your creating of pixel art?
I use Photoshop because that's what I'm used to working in.
Okay.
There's probably some better things than that, but
I have no idea. That's what I use.
works good for me. Sorry,
That's cool.
but that was fun.
Well, here's where I'm going to do my first cut, probably, because I'm going through my questions faster than I thought.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a big uh-oh. I'm trying to phrase stuff in a certain way that makes it more, I don't know.
We can go on more tangents if you want.
Yeah, we can start
Tangents are
talking
great.
about kittens. We can talk about
We can talk about kittens if you want. I saw a picture of a kitten the other day that finally got a hamburger, and then it said the internet was over.
the internet is over.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
And beautiful.
It's a beautiful ending. It's a happy ending.
A beautiful, happy ending to the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know what life would be without the internet.
Well, it certainly would have fewer cats in it.
Mm.
And we would go back to using roadside maps.
Oh my gosh. Imagine not having Google Maps. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
Bizarre.
Oh man. It'd be
I
like
would not be able to
Neanderthals.
find my way to my local comic store then.
That would be tragedy.
So many people would just end their lives. They would just.
I feel like that seriously would happen. Have you heard how there's actually a hospital in New York now that has this program that weans people off of using their phones and stuff?
Oh, wow.
Boy.
Yeah, like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me when this person was telling me about it. This has gotten so off topic.
It's not even as far as I'm concerned, that's not a problem. That's just a way of life.
Yeah.
You don't go to get help for like, well, I eat food.
Well, what if texting is taking over their life and they can't work? They can't have relationships? You don't know.
You have
man.
relationships if you're
You
texting
obviously
somebody.
euthanize them if they can only text.
Ah, I see.
I think
Euthanization. There we
Internet.
go.
I foresee a time when the internet is a human right.
Mm.
I think it should be already, personally, but internet access should be just a part of like what you get
Water,
to have.
food, internet. It's information. And libraries are sort of what that is. You know, there's like a public access to information.
Is this still the interview?
I don't
Or are you
know.
just talking?
You ruined
Sure,
it if it
this is
was,
still the
Calvin.
interview.
Awesome.
Good job ruining it.
I'm probably not even gonna do that cut where I said I did.
Awesome. I'm so glad that that is the case. No, yeah, internet's important. We like the internet.
Hmm.
We made sure one of the things we had in our treehouse was to make sure that we had internet access.
Yeah, our cell phone got Verizon signal strong enough that we could actually use its broadbandy whateverness that it has.
Yeah, like normally, like
We would have died otherwise.
yeah, we're not hippies or anything.
No.
I would get a jack in the back of my head and plug in forever if I could.
There's a reason
man.
why he's the robot and I'm the kitty.
I just realized how much sense that makes. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's all coming together.
It's sort of an accident, actually. It's weird. People call him robot and me kitty when we're like hanging out on Twitch while people are streaming the game or something.
Yeah, it's our
It's
first
like,
time
wait.
that somebody else has given us a nickname.
Nickname suddenly.
Yeah, didn't expect for that to happen. That was not our intent.
No. We gone by different titles pretty much
Yeah.
all the time, except for suddenly here we are.
I was Aeon and you were Ix,
Mhm.
and then now I'm Robot and you're Kitty.
So was the name Aeon Loves Ix?
No, it was just
No, that was just those were our character names in our first game, I guess.
yeah. That's like our online personality person's names.
What was the game?
Oh, Never Daunt.
It's called Never Don't 8-Bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you've heard of it?
Briefly?
Yeah.
Well, it never completely got finished, so we never really advertised it very much. We ended up taking it down last year to prep it for upgrading it to Unity or some other engine.
Yeah.
Because Calvin pushed the language that he was coding it in as far as it could go, and
It
it
was
wasn't
just
far enough.
It was a mess.
What language was it in?
Visual Basic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually the language that my game is being written in currently.
Cool.
It's not recommended for MMOs, though.
MMOs are 3D games.
Yeah, or 3D
Yeah.
games.
Luckily, my game is neither one of those.
Good on you.
I'm actually not doing the code for it. Enough about my game. We're not talking about me here. So, I just decided to look up questions to ask game developers.
The internet is awesome, see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aren't you glad you have it?
I'm pretty glad. So, do you think the inevitable move to cloud-based computing will be detrimental to game development?
Maybe.
This relates so much to Legend of Dungeon.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a problem once we all move to the cloud.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about people in Africa
They're invited.
that have bad internet?
Oh.
Well, it is interesting because like I'm a huge supporter of like Steam and stuff like that, and digital distribution and all kinds of things.
Digital distribution made us being game developers possible.
Yeah, seriously.
So of course we're fans of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really has opened up the whole independent market a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the problem isn't that stuff is going to the cloud, it's that people don't have internet access. So what we need to do is set up Wi-Fi stations in Africa. That's what I'm saying.
Lots of them.
Right. Or blimps.
Get the wells and everything. They don't need water.
Blimps.
They just need internet.
Like dirigibles with Wi-Fi transmitters. That's what steampunk dirigibles.
Yes. To provide
Fair enough.
Africa with internet.
Well,
Let's just...
the whole world.
Yes.
Yeah, Australia needs some better internet too.
I'm all for it.
Did you hear about how Japan has like a 2 gigabyte download rate?
Oh,
They're like the coolest country in the universe.
jealous.
Or 2 gigabyte a second?
That's crazy.
I know. I wish I could download that fast. Like I'll start a game on Steam start a download on Steam that's like 8 gigabytes and it takes me like 4 hours.
You could like
I have somewhat bad internet.
you could
but-
stream like 4K video or something.
Yeah,
It would be awesome.
that would be pretty cool. Although I don't know anybody that has
Yeah.
like that kind of monitored resolution
So-
or anything.
They do exist. They're coming into existence,
Yeah, well,
right?
whatever.
Yeah, I heard about the HDMI 2
Yeah.
That'll be
displays at that resolution or whatever.
But like it's almost the kind of thing where like I remember the first time I heard about terabyte hard drive,
Ah,
and it was like, well, what do I do with it? What do I put on a terabyte?
what
And
could I
then-
possibly have?
And that's kind of how I feel about that kind of internet access speed. It's like, well, what would I download? I don't even know. I just download all the time, I guess.
But it would make other things possible that we can't even imagine right now.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool about it.
Yeah. Neat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's just like you were kind of saying, just how technology is.
Mm.
So, the next question on this list
Oh my god.
doesn't really pertain to me so much, but I have some interesting ideas, but I don't know how to bring these ideas to life in a game. How would this be made possible?
It's not. No one should ever start making video games. I discourage everyone to do it, to not do it.
You can discourage it. Wait, to not.
Like
What?
that, I suggest making video games is impossible, and you should never try. That's the thing.
If you can get past discouragement,
Yeah, then you can make.
then
video
maybe you
games.
were worthy.
But at first, I tell you, no, it's impossible. Don't make video games because that's what everybody
Calvin
told
is like
me.
the Yoda of video.
I'm so incredibly confused.
Hey.
What?
Excellent.
Good job.
It's working.
Good job, Calvin.
No. Okay. So often somebody comes to me and they're like, "Oh, I want to get into video games. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna do this." And I'll be like, "No, don't do it. It's really hard." And
And the odds of you making any money are really tiny.
yeah, you should give up
Ideas
now.
are like a dime a dozen. It's
Go
doing it that's hard.
Work at Walmart because you'll never amount to anything.
Okay.
I don't say that, but
That's
I
some
could.
that's some great advice.
And because really, if you have what it takes to make video games, you will listen to that and go, whatever, man, and go make video games anyway.
Yeah, it is one of the reasons that we have gotten this far. I think this is what Calvin is trying to say. This is my interpretation. Is that you have to be incredibly stubborn and determined if you want to make a game and actually finish it and possibly make money off of it even. There's this level of determination and stubbornness that you have to see a big project through.
Okay, that's fair.
That sounded way better than what I said.
And that,
Yeah, you were just confusing.
and I do see how that makes sense too. Because people have asked me how you sort of get into indie develop or just game development in general, and I sit there and tell them how you have to like learn to code and everything, and they just never get beyond that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy.
It's super.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
But it is.
Yeah, I think that coding is really important though now. It helps people think in a good order and stuff. I noticed that once I started learning to code that I changed a lot.
I wholeheartedly agree.
The way I would think and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm a firm believer that everyone should learn to code, even though everything else I just said seemed to the opposite direction. No, but I think it could, like, if everybody learned to code a little bit, I think it could change the planet. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's slowly being instituted into the schools in the U.S. also.
That'd be awesome.
Because my cousin's son or something, I have a weird, complicated family line. Like he learned to code just a little bit, and he ended up hacking Candy Crush, and apparently he's like the #1 on the leaderboards now.
Sweet.
That is
just
so
by
cool.
hacking it and giving himself infinite lives.
I contemplate that. Like, I was like, ugh, Candy Crush. But if I was...
I've never played it. I've seen people play it, but my girlfriend will probably comment on this video and be like, "He has played it. He gave me lives one time." But I've never actually played it.
But it's a lie.
So,
Yeah.
other than giving her lives, which I didn't actually have to play the game to do.
That works.
So, for those determined people, what advice would you give them?
Business is half the battle if you want to make money.
Yeah. Figuring out how to market and sell your game and talk to the right people is super, super
Dealing
important.
with press, the community, every aspect of it that's not the actual game development is definitely at least 50%
At least
of being
half,
a successful
if not
game.
more.
That's something we've learned over lots of trial and error and mistakes as well.
Yeah.
I know that, what's the, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, Edward, Super Meat Boy guy.
Ed McCullen?
Yeah, Ed McMillan.
Yeah,
McMillan.
no,
That was
that's
close.
it.
We were close.
I know that he's said that same thing a lot, and he used to talk about this bar that like says the more business related it is, the less art related it is. Can you guys relate to that at all?
I don't see why they can't be lots of both. I don't know.
Alex does our artwork and most of the PR stuff. So
I guess if I spent more energy doing the PR stuff, there'd be less art. I don't know.
I think maybe what the bar thing was trying to intend though was, I guess when you look at somebody like EA for example, how it seems like sometimes I guess they don't put much into their games, but they expect to get a lot of revenue out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it's horribly sad. These AAA title things.
Well,
If I had a AAA budget, man, it's cool stuff I could make.
Just imagine, like,
it wasn't just
almost
us.
any good indie game and everything on a AAA budget.
Ah, it'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would make so many cool games. That'd be awesome.
Just constantly.
Yeah.
Just making games.
Right?
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, but that's kind of we in the very, very beginning when we were starting this whole video game making adventure, there was like this tiny part of us that thought, oh, we'll make this MMO and it will become famous. And our cat is stuck to our desk.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, you okay?
You're a bad kitty.
Don't do
How
that.
did he get stuck?
Well, it's a standing desk, and it's actually a shelf unit, and it has all these little hole brackets for the shelf, but it's all metal. I don't know why he would think that sharpening his claws on something metal is good, but he's a very weird cat.
Yeah.
That's Hobbs.
Sorry.
What other weird things does he do?
When he needs to be entertained.
Oh, wait. Did you say his name is Hobbs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my cat's name's Hobbs.
Please tell me that's inspired from Calvin and
Oh,
Hobbes.
of course.
Okay, good. Okay, now continue.
So, Hobbs is a strange creature. He's not actually a cat. He appears, at most people's first glance, to be a cat, but he's actually a chupacabra.
Or possibly a gremlin.
Maybe.
He does like to eat wires. Which
Now, is this because he actually looks like what you think a chupacabra would look like,
He
or
looks-
because he acts like one?
He looks like a cat.
he looks kind of like the actual, like the Hobbs cat. He's like got a white belly and he's all stripy. He's more of a brown than an orange, but he's just an adorable little fluffy kitten. Actually, he's a long cat. He's very long.
But
But
he's also...
it's his behavior that's very strange. Like, if you don't play with him and he needs to be entertained, he'll lay down and he'll start kicking himself in the face.
Or biting your feet.
Or biting your feet. Yeah, but the kicking himself in the face part is pretty special.
That sounds pretty absurd.
He doesn't know that his back half is like the same thing. He thinks it's another kitten, possibly.
What?
Yeah, there's this rivalry that's been going on since he was young between him and his back half.
Yeah.
He's
When he
chased
was-
his tail and all kinds of stuff.
When he was younger, he used to fetch. I could throw little paper balls, and he would run and get them and bring them back to me. He won't do it now because he's been spoiled by living in the forest and
where there are
chasing-
flying squirrels.
and real other animals that he could destroy.
Did he ever actually try to bring one back to
He
you guys?
brought live flying squirrels home at least twice.
And they flew in our treehouse.
Ooh.
They flew in your treehouse?
Yes. It was
Did they destroy anything?
no.
No.
It was in
was
the middle of
creepy.
the night, and we wanted them out so we could go back to sleep.
That's pretty
So
creepy.
was there ever a moment that you just like got completely fed up with it and like just cut one of your tarps
No.
to let them out?
No way.
There was a
after
little
the amount
spot where he got out.
After the amount of work that we went through trying to get the water to stay outside of the treehouse, that
Yeah.
was never going to happen.
Okay.
They did get out. They never
Yeah, we
got trapped in there. But
Well,
it was
that we
an
know of.
adventure every time.
So, Calvin, you were in the game making business before Alex, right?
Well,
Kind of. You knew how to program before we met, even.
yeah, and I
but-
started working on Never Dawn before Alex was like, let me help with that.
Well, that's because, basically our story is we actually met years before we started making games, either of us. And we got married, and we were just doing normal job stuff. Calvin was in IT, you know.
I fixed computers and set up Wi-Fi and networked people.
Right. And I'd helped my mom run a cafe, and we did all kinds of different stuff. And one day, not one day, but like
One
over
day.
the course of like a month, we kept talking about, you know, like what do we want to do? Where are we going with this? Blah, blah, blah. And Calvin was like, give me a year. Let me make a video game. And so I was the producer and the quality control, and I come up with a few little ideas here and there. But it was really, our first game was very much Calvin just programming and doing the art while I worked to support us so we didn't starve.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You ended up answering my next question anyway. I was gonna sort of ask what you did before games, but you're just good at answering questions before I ask them. I think you're a mind reader.
I'm psychic. I'm a psychic.
Are there oftentimes games that you guys sort of start but then just never really get around to or whatever?
We have a lot of
We
ideas.
have a list.
We have a long
Yeah,
list
like,
of cool ideas.
There's been a few game ideas that we've dropped over the
Yeah.
years. When he was first,
Were you like in mid-production with them
No,
already?
no,
Or...
I don't think so.
sort of, kind of, not really. When he first started making Never Dawn, is the first big project that took about 5 years.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was a
that's
few
true.
years into it, and he was kind of troubled because he realized that it was just not going to be the game he wanted using Visual Basic. And so he played around with a few different ideas because he basically built up this awesome world.
I had
thing.
something.
It just wasn't the game that he wanted.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
And you
about
made-
Monster Planet.
And you made Monster Planet, which didn't get very far because you realized you weren't really enjoying
Because I
the
hated
idea
the
of the
game.
game.
I was like, we got to do something with all this code I wrote. So let's make this game here. And it was kind of like a...
basically an MMO Pokemon.
So you were hating Neverdaunt?
No, no,
You
no.
Made...
I was realizing that I could never finish Neverdaunt.
in this code.
Right.
Okay.
With my current skill set and everything. And so I was like, what I need to do is I need to finish a game. And so I started working on a game called Monster Planet.
Right, he was converting what
all
was
about
currently
this.
Neverdaunt into this other game.
Right, so it would have like player creatable monsters that you could kind of fight Pokemon style.
Okay.
And
In
it
like
sounded
a
really
3D world.
cool, but then I realized I never wanted to play this game. It was not my kind of thing. I don't like grind. I don't like the just mindless level up
Yeah,
stuff.
who cares if you have a top hat that launches rockets? You want Neverdaunt.
Right, I wanted to make Neverdaunt, and I was like, screw this. About like I was miserable.
You put
in
like
it,
a month into it,
Yeah,
maybe.
and I got there's screenshots somewhere, but it was
Well,
just.
I googled Monster Planet, and I don't know if I'm looking at the right stuff or.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, Calvin will check to see.
I also see it looks like a screenshot of something from The Walking Dead, or it looks like the same artist.
Oh wow, a new game came out.
Oh yeah, this is
No, this is a new
Monsters Planet.
Monsters.
And
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
No,
none of
neither
this
of
is
those
me.
are it.
Oh wait, I'm gonna try some stuff here now. Monster Planet. Robot.
What was the name?
Kid.
You made this Mexican rip-off version of Optimus Prime?
Yes, yes,
What did you call him? He was like somebody that would follow you around. Rodimus? No. Optimo Primo.
Optimal Primo.
What?
So like I was thinking like I wanted to be able to like any kind of monster for this game that the players would want. So I built a monster creating thing. And then I started testing it out, and I decided, well, they should be able to make a monster that looks like Optimus Prime and have him fight for them. So I made Optimus Prime, and then I'm like, wait, I can't show off Optimus Prime. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Right.
So I recolored him and named him Optimo Primo.
What did he
And
say?
instead of roll out, he said,
On
Is there a
the
screenshot of this?
We're looking. Oh, it must be in the blog somewhere.
no, I can't find it.
Oh wow. Stupid internet. If this other game hadn't come out that was called Monsters Planet.
We should sue.
Yeah.
We, as in all three of us.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right.
Oh, I see screenshots of Neverdaunt.
Yeah, we're never gonna find it. It's okay.
You could have to find them some other time.
Yeah.
There's Monster Saga.
Lots of monsters.
Well, see, because it never got beyond like my dev blog. So
Yeah, it was never a playable thing that anyone else could do. But so there was that project that we kind of dropped, and that's when he decided I'll just make a light version of Neverdaunt that I wanted, which was what ended up being the game that we got into the IGF for technical excellence, which was just N8 is what we would call it, because it was Neverdaunt 8-bit.
Yeah.
But other projects, have we abandoned anything else? Usually we only start games we really, really want to make and really, really want to play, so they don't get abandoned.
Well, that's always a good track record, I guess, for not really abandoning stuff.
Yeah, we're really stubborn, so we don't generally drop stuff either, unless we suddenly realize it's a really bad idea, but so far that hasn't happened. Although who knows, we've been talking around to each other. How around is that? Behold our social lives. We're talking to each other about the next game that we want to make, and hopefully
Any word that you want to give on that? Or...
Oh, yeah, we could tell you all about the two different game ideas we have.
Okay.
I'll tell you about Look at These Cats first while Calvin is occupied, because
This already sounds amazing.
I know, right? It's not going to be a big game. It's certainly not like a year-long game. It'd be like a month of putting together or something. It's just a small, like a vacation game almost. But the idea is it's web-based, and you go to the site, and there's pictures of cats, and you have your own account.
Are they like pictures of cats that you draw, or are they just ones that
Photographs.
are like pulled? They're what?
Photographs
Yeah, just
of cats.
like
Okay.
photos of cats.
Yeah.
Like Icon has cheeseburger images before they get their titles or anything.
Okay.
And you basically you look at them and it scrolls through the images so long as you're on the screen, or maybe you hit the next button, and every once in a while a dog picture will show up, and you'll have to hit the not a cat button or you'll get a penalty. And sometimes there'll be extra kittens in the picture. It'll be more than just one cat, and then you have to click the double cat button and you get extra points. And that's pretty much all of it. And you can also submit images of cats.
Okay, I found a link to
Oh, look! There's
a
Optimus
video.
Primo.
That's Optimus Prime before I recolored
that's
him.
Before.
This is a hidden link to
Ooh, inside.
a Monster Planet video that you can share with people if you so desire.
Okay.
You can make anything with the Monster Maker.
I had a question, but I totally lost it after seeing what'd you say his name was? Optimo Primo?
Yeah, that's his actual Optimus
Oh,
Prime.
that's before you'd
That's
recolored
before
him?
his recolor.
What did you recolor him as?
Like yellow and
Yellow, green, and red, I think.
yeah,
Like,
look terrible.
we have problems.
Wow. Hang on, I gotta see if I can find that question. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah,
Cat.
what were the repercussions for if you didn't click the dog pictures?
I don't know, it'd be some sort of reduction in points, I think.
I think you're booted out of the
you
game.
booted out of the game, you lose.
Yeah.
If you look at a dog.
No more points for you.
Or like a hamster
Don't
or
you
anything.
dare look at that dog.
Right. Basically.
You lose.
And it'll have all kinds of different, like, losing text and things like that.
That was not a cat.
But it'll be...
I don't know. We're still working on the details.
Stupid. It's just a stupid game to amuse ourselves with, basically. But the other ones...
Sounds pretty fun though.
Well, you know, like, people got all excited about, what was it called? Cookie Clicker or something, and...
Oh man, you don't even want to hear about it, my experience with that.
Uh-oh.
I found out about it, and for the next 2 days, let's just say I did absolutely nothing except click cookies.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So I think we've got some things
Actually,
with this cat.
I'm gonna check and see how many cookies I have now.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there you go. I
Uh-oh.
bet you have a whole bunch.
Cookie clicker.
But yeah, so this cat thing, basically it's going to be a less obnoxious version of Nyan Cat, but with lots and lots of cats you can
An
look
actual game.
at. And an actual something of a game.
Yeah.
Will you be able to favorite your favorite pictures?
Ooh, maybe you
Oh,
can
good
rate the
idea.
cats. And if you rate them too low, you get penalized because
Right.
they're cats and they're adorable.
Right.
Yeah, obviously. I bet the only people that would rate them low is probably those people that set them on fire.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they'd be playing the game in the
We
first
could
place.
log their IP addresses.
Oh, people who
And then go to their houses or their internet
Hmm.
access place and burn it down.
Yes.
Okay.
And put cats there after you burn it down.
It's
Nice.
we're providing a service to
It's a
humanity.
service. Yes. It's a
Yeah.
humanitarian project.
A catitarian project.
And then we have this other
Right.
game that we came up with on a recent car trip, actually.
Are we telling people about that?
Are we? You told people about it earlier.
Not on a chat.
All right, it's a secret then.
It's a secret.
I'll talk about the
The
idea.
name of it is Bomb Cops.
What cops?
Bomb Cops.
Bomb cops?
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes me think of what was that one really old game? You played a cop and you're on a boat. And Dynamite Cop? I think that may have been the name.
I like
We're
this
going to have
game.
to do some research,
I
Calvin.
like the game.
I like it already. I don't know this game.
Yeah, it was a really old game. 1998. I thought it was older than that, but apparently not. Came out for Sega, I think. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, I didn't have it. So
Like I said, it's been forever.
Loading up the
I think-
Wikipedia page. So now I need to know
now
about
we
that.
need to know about him.
I doubt
it was a pretty interesting game.
I doubt it's anything
I think
like
the main
we have-
character was featured in Project Cross Zone recently.
Oh, cool.
I hated Project Cross Zone.
our game is a 2-player Android game.
Well,
The what is?
Bomb Cops is a 2-player Android game. Most somewhat Android.
possibly web with VoIP.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it or just no?
No.
You don't want to talk
Okay.
about it, Calvin? Okay.
It's about cops and bombs.
Okay. Are you guys ever gonna like make these into like Ludum Dare things or just whatever?
If the theme comes up properly, but I think
fits it, but
they might be like our warm up games for the next thing we do. Because we're really stupid creative people, and if we are on one project for too long, we kind of go a little crazy, and so it's good to have a little break here and there, like when we did the Ludum Dare back in like late winter, early spring. That was a lot of fun. I mean, we practically had no sleep, and we were just coding for 3 days and doing art like crazy people. But afterwards we felt so refreshed because we had done something so totally creative and fun and different from Legend of Dungeon. And so we're kind of going to do that again before we start another big project, I think.
And that's what Bomb Cops and Look at These Cats is going to be.
That's what. Are you gonna do both of them in one refreshing break?
Maybe.
Vacation?
Possibly.
Maybe. I feel like Look at These
depends.
Cats might take like 2 days.
We're going to have to find a lot of pictures of cats.
That's going to be the hard part, is the cat
Cat
curating.
collection.
It might be easier than you think.
True.
So I'm going back to that random list I found. Do you see any current trends in the industry? You can pick whatever industry you want.
I have a neat thing to talk about here.
Ooh, you do.
I do. So, I think that the video game industry is going the same route that route,
Same thing, whatever.
I do the same thing.
Oops.
Like I don't know.
Same
which one.
direction.
It's going in the same direction as the music industry and the movie industry is going. And that is that as technology progresses forward, the tools to make content become cheaper and easier to use. And I think that we've moved to a state where somebody who's not very technically inclined, like say parental units, can go ahead and make movies. Maybe they're not full on
Great movies.
Emmy award-winning movies, but all of the technology to make a movie is in their hands. And I think that's starting to occur in music. At least all the tools are there, but it's even becoming easier and easier. There's various like little cell phone apps that allow you to, record and create music in an easier, non-complicated way than has been in previous generations.
Do you think the game industry will ever get to the point that people are making like masterpiece games with like just such an ease of technology?
I think so. Well, especially as artificial intelligence improves, and an AI could get a better idea of what you're trying to do, like Star Trek. Okay, like Data and Geordi walk into the holodeck and they're like, "Well, we need a game that's like this, and Moriarty is going to be the villain, and make him really smart, and so on."
And then it does that.
Yeah.
Do you think that there will still be people that know more about it though that can make even better stuff?
But
Or do you
probably.
think
That
that
seems
it'll
reasonable.
advance so far eventually that it just won't even matter?
Well,
Well, it may eventually advance that far. I mean, there's no way to tell what's happening like a bajillion years in the future.
A bajillion
But-
years in the future, everything is just RPG Maker.
Yeah.
and that's all people do.
You don't
All
need to
day.
eat.
All day, forever. They don't need to eat.
They don't need
RPG Maker feeds them.
It's like the movie WALL-E, except they're just doing RPG Maker
Yeah.
on their little screens.
That's right. Be perfect.
It's going to be in their mind.
Oh, in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole VR immersive things with little
RPG Maker.
tubes for their food and stuff.
Right.
It'll be like burger milkshakes.
I feel like
milkshake.
I know somebody that actually had a burger milkshake.
Sounds gross.
I couldn't imagine doing like any weird foods as a
So
milkshake.
we backed Soylent, so it's not too far off from
Well,
that.
a burger is very different from Soylent. Soylent's supposed to taste like cake batter. A burger's gonna taste like a burger.
Burger milkshake.
Possibly
Wait,
make
a cake batter milkshake? What?
There's this thing called Soylent. It was created by this engineer and his friends.
It's not made of people.
It's not made of people.
It's not green, it's yellow.
It's a complete. Okay, Calvin, are you done?
Sorry.
Do you want to tell the story?
No, you go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You sure?
sure.
Okay.
Be quiet.
All right. Sorry, we're just picking on each other over here.
You're good.
Soylent is this kind of like a meal replacer, but it's actually their goal is to make it so that you could actually eat it for every meal of the day for months on end, and you wouldn't have any kind of vitamin deficiencies or anything. So it's like a perfect meal, like you could eat it in outer space.
Okay.
And like it'd be okay. You wouldn't have to go to the hospital.
So did you try that?
They ran a Kickstarter kind of thing, and we ordered some. It hasn't come yet because so many people ordered it that they had to find like a new factory to manufacture it or something. I don't know what happened, but it's like
It's coming.
it's coming, but it's not here yet.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it because Calvin doesn't like real people food very much. And
I'd plug
it's
into
also
a wall if I could.
it's also
Is
really
it like just a thing with like all food, or is it just like most American food,
most
or just
like ice cream he likes and various
I like
other
cheeseburgers.
things. He likes cheeseburgers.
But if I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing about this stuff is it's completely nutritionally sufficient. So if you're like concerned at all about health and making sure you have all the right vitamins or whatever, this is supposed to be complete. So like if you wanted to go on a diet or you wanted to bulk up or any of those other weird things, you could technically figure it out. So you wouldn't even have to think about what you're putting in your body. You've just got this shake and you drink it and
this has
you're set.
everything to do with video games because it means more time making video games and less time making food.
Or being sick.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That's the idea.
That's a good point.
Who knows?
I usually just take probiotics to avoid getting sick.
Yeah, but probiotics, it's good for you, supposedly. But the idea is like
That's what they want you to
that's what
believe.
they want you to think. But you can't
Sorry.
you can't it's really difficult no matter what you eat to get a perfectly nutritionally balanced diet with all the like vitamins
Yeah,
and
that's
minerals
true.
and everything. And the idea
Okay,
is
so basically what this is it's stepping up and actually doing that.
Exactly. It's actually doing it, and that way, like for us, we don't move around that much. Sure, we used to live in a tree house, but we don't right now.
I leveled down. I'm just a mage.
Yeah,
now.
we're back to being mages.
Can you de-level?
Apparently.
I guess in real life that's
Yeah,
possible.
that's
Yeah.
what it looks like when I look down at my stomach.
You are not fat. Stop it. He's like
I'm fat.
It feels
But
like I've gotten
It's
fat.
just, yeah, and so this Soylent stuff will, you don't have to worry about overeating or undereating or anything in between. You just take your allotment for the day and you drink it and you know you're set. And supposedly, because it's so nutritionally balanced and stuff, it doesn't leave you feeling hungry.
Is there a motorcycle outside?
Yes.
Yeah, just
Okay.
sorry.
I was just making sure that like my headphones weren't going crazy.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
We don't even have an open window, so it's
So how do you spell this?
Soylent, like Soylent Green, except without the green,
Just people.
because that's people.
Soylent.
Soylent.
Hang on, it's loading. Free your it looks like pudding.
Mm.
It's just it's like a shake. You could probably have it with less water, and it would be like pudding.
I see where it looks more like a shake now, but the first picture I saw it looked like pudding. Wow, a lot of guys are working on that. A lot more than I assumed would be.
Yeah, it started off kind of small, and I guess because of the Kickstarter thing, they had to get kind of serious.
Yeah. Wow. They really did make a lot of money off that.
Yeah, well, the
I guess they-
expenses are probably going to be crazy too because they're starting up a whole production line or whatever.
Yeah. But they made, I think that's... Never mind. My math isn't the best
Yeah,
with all those zeros.
Yeah, they got a lot of people that are interested. So we're not the only ones who want to be robots.
I also don't math. I can
Program.
I can algebra, but I don't do arithmetic.
I can do it to a certain point, but when it gets to so many zeros, like, I'm just lost.
I see.
Like, it's like dyslexia with large numbers.
Large numbers become meaningless at some point.
Yeah.
Like, okay, a lot then, I guess.
So what are some games that you guys are playing while you're not making games currently?
We haven't really had any time to play games until just recently, like the last few days. Calvin, you had our musician came over actually with his brother, and they played
Broforce!
Yeah.
And Towerfall. Those are awesome.
I'm looking those up as you're mentioning them.
Oh, Broforce.
Oh my gosh, you have to
friend.
play Broforce.
I
So
haven't
cool.
even heard of it.
It's so cool.
A few months ago, I had a lull in what I needed to do, and our game had already been greenlit, and I decided to throw a massive online stream of 26 games over 14 hours, all indie games that were on Greenlight, and Broforce was one of them. And holy cow, it is so cool.
Is it free?
It is currently
The demo
the
is,
demo
yeah.
is currently free on their Broforce website.
Okay.
But you can also pre-purchase it. They're a development team in Africa, and they're awesome, really sweet people, and their game is hilarious. Oh, it's so
It looks
cool.
fun.
And
It looks like
fun.
TF2 and Terraria mixed, although it's probably nothing like that.
There's destructible terrain.
Yeah, it's got
lots of explosions.
It's kind of like Contra, but with 90s and 80s action heroes.
Yeah, and everybody has the word bro in their name.
Yeah.
Like bro cop,
RoboCop.
Robocop? Wow.
Indiana Brones.
Rambro.
Yeah.
Yep.
This sounds pretty incredible.
It is incredible.
What was the other game that you said?
Towerfall, that's for the Ouya.
Oh, I haven't gotten Ouya yet. I need it.
It is worth it for Towerfall. It is. It's a great game.
There's a few other games on the Ouya that are fun to play
Amazing
on the Ouya
Frog.
too. Like Amazing Frog, yeah.
I think I've seen Amazing Frog. That's the one where the frog is surfing, right?
No, he's
this
running
is-
around.
This is a
And
different.
he-
Yeah, this is
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a frog running around.
running around.
Is it the 3D looking one?
Yeah.
It is 3D, yeah.
Okay, this game looks pretty fun too. You just run around like
And you
that's the
get
whole point.
points.
And jump.
And you fall. You get points for hurting yourself, kind of.
This actually does look fun. I really need to get in Ouya.
Oh, what's the other Ouya game? The car one.
No,
No Brakes Valet.
No Breaks Valet is awesome.
Yep, there's another good game.
There's probably more good games that we haven't.
It's
like,
so we have
come
like
out
we
recently.
play maybe an hour worth of video games. Like these games, we haven't gotten very far in any of them. You know.
Except for Towerfall. We're, like,
Towerfall,
experts.
you've played it with just about everybody you know. You're like, come play on our Ouya, because we're the only ones with an Ouya, so you get to play with it.
What's that new console that's coming out? And I don't mean PS4 or Xbox One, but that'd be funny if that's what I was talking about. Like I didn't even know what they were called. Whatever.
You talking about the Steam box that might be announced in 2 days?
No. There's something else. I think it's actually made by GameStop,
Mm.
but it's almost the same thing as an Ouya.
Oh, the Game Stick thingy?
No.
This is
That
like called
might
Game
be it.
Stick, and there's a bunch after Ouya did its thing. Like 3 or 4 other ones popped up. There's also the Nvidia one,
And the Shield.
the Shield.
Yeah. That looks pretty cool.
That looks cool, but I think it might be really expensive, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not for me, really.
Yeah. I actually just got a PS Vita after that price cut,
Oh.
and granted, I got a really good deal. I got one of the really old models that came with like a year of PS Plus and stuff, and like all this free games.
Sweet.
So for $200, it was really worth it. But I've been really impressed with the Vita so far.
Cool.
Everybody seems to want us to put Legend of Dungeon on the Vita, but I haven't played it, so
Oh, it would be incredible.
yeah.
Yeah,
See?
I didn't even think about that.
We're
You should do that.
We're talking to people about stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk to all the different console dudes and whoever's really cool to us and helps us get the console testing units and stuff. And definitely
feel like
supportive.
Sony would be the one to do that, to be nice and stuff. I don't know.
They are both.
They've been really adamant about indie stuff recently.
Yeah, both Sony and Nintendo seem pretty cool.
Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah, they've all of them, all three, Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony, has come up to us at various different places we've been to and been like, "Oh, you should port it over."
Yeah, but
so,
the Xbox guys came up to it and I just kind of stared him down.
well, that was only this Calvin.
I don't mean to sound bad about Microsoft or anything, but
Well-
they do seem more like less personal people when approaching people about games and more like how much money can you make us?
What were they thinking?
You're just talking
What were
about
they
them
thinking?
going back and forth on what they're trying to do with
Crazy
the.
people over there. They're just trying to get away with whatever they can. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Anyway. So did you hear
So
about
they were
SteamOS?
nice to you, though.
Mhm.
SteamOS just made an announcement today.
Wait, who did? What?
So Valve
Valve
made
made
a
an
giant announcement for SteamOS. We're really excited about.
Oh, I saw something about that, but I didn't actually look at it
They're,
much.
they're doing their own operating system.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like
I assumed that it was like some play-on thing about iOS because I'm an idiot.
doing their own. It's a Linux-based operating system called SteamOS, and I think in 2 days they're going to announce the Steam box,
Yeah, they
which will
have
be
two more
a Steam-based, Linux-based console, which would be awesome.
This sounds really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would rock. I'm excited about that.
We've gone so far away from us talking
Well,
about
Legend
video
of
games.
Dungeon will be on
Yeah.
SteamOS,
Oh, okay.
so
We
there.
are so far from.
Brought it back.
So, Legend of Dungeon.
Mm.
SteamOS, yeah. So, what do we even talk about now? So you were talking about how you don't even really game much. Like the only games I've played in the past like month have been Legend of Dungeon. I promise there's more Foul Play. That's probably it.
Mm.
Oh, and my Vita.
Oh.
But I've mostly just been playing PlayStation 1 games on there, so.
Mm.
Because I love PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And there were so many good games I missed out on PlayStation 1. I somehow have not bought any Final Fantasy games on there.
Do you have Driver?
No.
You should get Driver. Driver's awesome.
I mean, I have played Driver when I was younger and everything, but I don't have it on my Vita.
I've sunk ridiculous amounts of hours into Driver.
Really?
Depending on the price, I don't know if I'd be willing to spend the money for Driver.
I wouldn't
It's
do it
not
to
everybody's
play.
kind of game.
Well, no,
you
I
know?
wouldn't play it as like I wouldn't go through like storylines or anything like that. That was not fun. What's fun is that the cop AI is so bad that you can do all sorts of ridiculous things. Like you drive up and you get them to.
Well, that's like the whole premise of the game is doing ridiculous things, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know. I just remember like getting up and making the cop cars by just going forward and backwards a little bit. You can get the cops to circle around you over and over and over again. Or my brother and I used to play it, and we would play how many cop cars can you fit in this alley? And you go race around a little bit, and you get the cops to follow you, and then you crash them and shove them into the alleyway. And then you zip around a couple more times and put more cops and try to stack them up until the game
Wow.
crashes.
Did they just like did they even clip together or whatever?
Well,
Or-
eventually they stopped the spawning, and then we found out there was a maximum number of cop cars you could actually put in an alleyway, which was sad.
Oh.
So, but you did get the game to successfully crash.
Oh yeah, more than
So,
once,
like-
I'm sure.
Is it just like enough cop cars got on screen?
Yeah.
Because you had them all spawned already.
Yeah, I think that's what occurred. I don't remember the details. Again, this is a long time ago, but I remember
When we were younger, we didn't have we weren't like super rich, so we had like 3 games and we played them to their end. You know, like
Yeah.
we got our worth out of them.
Yeah.
And
I remember my co-host, he talks about how he used to be poor when he was younger too, and his mom bought him Myst and said once he beats that, she'll buy him a new game.
wow,
I think she bought like the whole Myst series,
oh, it's great.
or at least all of the ones that were out at the time. It was a while back, but
I have
Yeah.
never beat any of those, but I love every single one of them. They're just so cool. Such a cool concept.
I've beat Mist, and I think I beat. I can't remember all their names, but there's another one that I beat,
Ribbon?
but I haven't beat the others.
Hmm.
But they are really cool. I love them.
Yeah.
I was playing the MMO one for a little while.
Oh, cool. How was that? I heard about that.
It was really cool. It's actually free to play now.
Oh.
We should play that sometime whenever both of us have free time, which will probably be very rarely
Yeah.
synced up. But if we do, that'd be really fun to play.
That's cool.
It actually has a really tight community still. That apparently there's like this whole linguistics thing with the game. So there are people, this really tight community that still talk like in the game's language and stuff. It's crazy.
Wow. That sounds so cool. I mean, that's kind of like the thing that I don't know that I could get into playing, but I would like sit and read the whole history of and really get a kick out of it.
It's so good though.
Cool.
Just as confusing as the other ones too.
Awesome.
Man, now I want to make something like Myst.
Yeah.
Sounds complicated though.
Thinking of puzzles is hard.
Puzzles is
It really is. I imagine writing like stories and stuff as puzzles, and then I start hurting my brain. Anyway, so I guess we'll end the interview just because it's so far off track at this point.
Well, you did run out of questions like 10 minutes in because you were just so on top of things. It's our fault.
Yeah, like I was really surprised. Usually my co-host does a good job of also throwing questions in. And him and I will oftentimes feed off of each other too. So I guess that's a big reason why I ran out of questions early in. I don't want it to seem like to either you guys or the viewers that I just didn't have any good questions for your game because, I'm just doing a stock interview or whatever. Because I do love the game. I don't know, I just ran out of questions.
We had fun.
Yeah, it's fun just
I'm glad you
talking,
did.
too, so.
That was a rough start, though, before the part that actually will be cut out. How many times I messed up that intro. But yeah, that was pretty fun.
Cool.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's a blast.
All right. So, like I said, this is Calvin and Alex from Robotloveskitty. I may have sounded echoey there because I was holding a spoon up to my mouth. But anyway, Calvin and Alex, their game is Legend of Dungeon. You should buy it.
Yay.
I think it's $15.
If you want the soundtrack, yeah. Otherwise, it's 10 just for the game.
Okay.
You should totally soundtrack because it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is definitely amazing. It's available on Steam. Is it on Desura?
No, but it is on our website.
Yeah.
As well.
The website, if you want all the funds to go to them, or if that's what happens to all the funds on your website.
More or less, yes.
As opposed to Valve. But anyway, yeah, I'll have links in the description for that mess, as in good mess. And thank you for watching this, and bye.
Bye.
And yeah, you guys can say bye too.
Goodbye.
Bye.